News with no bias. Exposed. News with no exceptions. Exposed. Delivering nothing but the truth. This is GAFCC News. Your truth, our news.
Broadcasting live from the GAFCC Newsroom, Dublin. Good day, Ireland, and good day, world. This is Jeremiah, bringing you the hottest and the most leading news of the hour. Your truth, our news. For the headlines, Jesus of Nazareth is missing? Alright, you heard it right. Jesus of Nazareth is really missing. But who is Jesus? Why is he missing? What happened to his body? You have questions? We have the answers. Jesus of Nazareth, 33 years old, was arrested and sentenced to be crucified by the Sanhedrin and Roman Empire this weekend. We sent our reporters to trace the events and sources to fill us in on this story. First up, we have a reporter, Joy, in Mount Zion, interviewing one of Jesus' disciples, who apparently had dinner before he was arrested. Joy?
Hi Jeremiah. Yes, that's correct. I am here at the upper room on Mount Zion, where Jesus and his disciples had their Last Supper. I have Andrew here with me, who is also one of Jesus' disciples. Hi Andrew.
Hi.
Andrew, we know that this is a difficult time for you, so we appreciate you being here and agreeing to do this interview. To start off with, could you tell us a little bit about Jesus and your experiences with him?
Yes, of course. I met Jesus for the first time in Galilee. I was fishing with my brother, Peter, when I saw Jesus walking by, and I followed him since then. We were together for about 3 years, and while I was with him, I saw him perform many miracles. Turn water into wine, raise people back from the dead, healed the sick, fed thousands, calmed storms, and even walked on water. I couldn't believe any of it at first.
We also heard that you had your Last Supper here with Jesus. Is this correct?
Yes, Jesus invited me and the rest of the disciples here. He had a meal prepared for us. I thought it was so nice and gracious of him to do so. Who knew it was going to be our last meal together?
Did you notice anything unusual happen that night?
Well, I remember that night, he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. He began washing our feet and dried them with the towel. We were all surprised by this. Jesus humbled himself to wash our feet. Could you imagine this? Our Lord wanted to wash our feet. Of course, we were all hesitant at first, but he told us unless he washed our feet, we would have no part in him. He wanted to teach us humility. Just as he washed our feet, he said that we should also wash one another's feet. That was actually a very sad evening for all of us. While Jesus was washing our feet, he mentioned that we were all clean but one. That one would betray him. We also had bread and wine that night.
How do you feel about Jesus' body missing from the tomb?
At first, when Mary told us, we didn't pay attention. It was all nonsense to us. But when Peter ran and checked, he said it was true. I am now very confused. I can't help but think who would take his body and for what reason. I hope we can find his body and lay it to rest.
We are also hoping to find his body soon. Andrew, thank you so much for helping us to get to know Jesus and sharing your experiences with him. There you have it, guys. We heard it straight from Andrew, one of Jesus' disciples. Indeed, Jesus healed the sick, raised people back from the dead, controlled the weather, and even walked on water. This is Joy reporting. Your truth, our news. Back to you, Jeremiah.
Thank you, Joey. When the Romans arrested Jesus, apparently he surrendered willingly. Is this true? We pass you over to our reporter, Aliana, for more details.
Good day, Jeremiah. Yes, that is right. I am here in the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus was arrested before his death and crucifixion. We have Aaron here with me,
That's me.
one of the Roman soldiers
That's right.
that was assigned to arrest Jesus Christ.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Aaron, let me ask you, what happened the night Jesus was arrested?
So, the plan was just to arrest Jesus, but then my perfectly good right ear was struck off by Simon Peter, one of Jesus' disciples.
May I know who issued this arrest?
It was Sanhedrin and the Pharisees.
But how did you know Jesus would be here?
We got a little hint from one of his disciples, Judas.
Are you saying Judas betrayed Jesus?
Yes, he gave us where Jesus would be, and he exposed all his blasphemous claims and ways.
Can you give me any more details from that night?
It went easier than expected, actually. Jesus willingly surrendered. It was mainly Simon Peter who gave us a problem.
How do you feel about Jesus' body missing from the tomb?
Well, he didn't deserve to die in the first place. He seemed like a good guy who didn't want any trouble. I was just doing my job. I hope he forgives me for what I did.
Thank you for your time, Aaron. There you have it, guys. Straight from Aaron, a Roman soldier that was assigned to arrest Jesus Christ. This is our news, your truth. Back to you, Jeremiah.
Why, thank you, Aliana. Our next interview is with the governor of Judea, Sir Pontius Pilate, who was responsible for the sentence and crucifixion of Jesus. Good day, Angel. Can you give us your report?
Good day to you, Jeremiah. We're here at the palace in Jerusalem with Governor Pontius Pilate, the man who sentenced Jesus to death. Sir Pontius, thank you for agreeing to do this.
No problem, thank you.
We'd like to ask you a few questions on the events that happened a few days ago.
Sure, yeah, sure.
First of all, why did you put Jesus on trial and have him executed?
Well, the priest came to me and asked for my help to arrest Jesus. They wanted to arrest him because he called himself the Son of God. So, it's just another one of those religious problems that they needed to get sorted. So I just had to, get it over and done with. I sent my men to arrest Jesus, but the next morning, they said they wanted me to kill him. But I told them, you go kill him yourself. But they weren't able to do that under their law. So I had to question the guy, I said, poor Jesus, what have you done to deserve all of this? The people, your own people, to hate you. And, there was nothing wrong with the guy, actually. It was all pointless. It was all pointless. He was innocent in my eyes, I think. I asked him if he was the king of the Jews, if he really was the king of the Jews. And he said he had no army, he had no kingdom. I even I didn't want him killed, honestly. I went out and I said, go take this man, he's not guilty at all. I even gave him a choice between Barabbas, a murderer, and Jesus, the king of the Jews. But they still wanted him killed, I don't know.
Wait, so just to be clear, you found him innocent? Why did you still have him beaten?
No. Look, it just had to be dealt with, okay? It's done. Next question.
Well, we have reports saying that Jesus' body is missing from the tomb. What are your thoughts on that?
Missing from the tomb. I don't know where you heard that. That's fake. That sounds like fake news. Don't believe everything you see these days. Anyway, I have to go. Okay, I'm busy. Thank you so much, FTC News. Okay,
Thank you,
Say your bye-bye.
There you have it, guys. You heard it straight from the governor. Jesus was innocent, but still beaten, blameless, yet still crucified. And this was all decided by his own people. This is Angel reporting. Our news, your truth. Back to you, Jeremiah.
Thank you, Angel. There are many that describe Jesus' crucifixion and death to be a dark and distressing day. We have Erica reporting to us with an eyewitness from Golgotha itself, the site where the event of the crucifixion took place.
Yes, Jeremiah, I'm here in Golgotha with Joy, who witnessed the death and crucifixion of Jesus. Can you tell us what had happened on that day?
Yes, so after Jesus was beaten up, they made him carry his cross from the city to the hill, which is a very long way. He kept tripping up, and people had to help him. Jesus was very bloody, and he was wearing a crown of thorns. They pierced his hands and his feet, which was really painful to watch.
What did it feel like being there?
It was a very hot and dark day. Jesus' mother Mary was crying, which is very hard to watch as well. The Roman soldiers were mocking him. They wrote a sign over his head saying, "King of the Jews." saying that if he really was the Son of God, that he should come down to save himself. He said something about forgiving them for they do not know what they're doing.
Do you know what happened after the death of Jesus?
So after Jesus said his last words, there was a very violent earthquake. It was unusual. Joseph and Nicodemus took down his body and buried him.
What do you think of Jesus' body being removed or missing after?
So, I've heard stories of him raising people from the dead. So, probably he raised himself from the dead. But that's impossible. So, probably his disciples stole his body.
Thank you for your time, Joy. This is Erica reporting your true our news. Back to you, Jeremiah.
Thank you, Erica. Now we turn over to Mark, who is now with the man responsible for burying Jesus the Nazarene. Apparently, this man is a member of the Sanhedrin. Is that true?
Yes, Jeremiah, that is right. I'm currently reporting at the scene where it had all happened. Now joining me is Joseph of Arimathea, a member of the Sanhedrin. So, Joseph, do you mind if I ask you some questions about Jesus and his disappearance?
Yeah, guess so.
Alright then, let's get started. So, can you tell me about your point of view during Jesus' events that led to his death?
Like from the very start?
Yes, from the very start, if you don't mind.
Okay, so basically, if I can recall, it all began when he came here to Jerusalem. Everyone was celebrating his arrival, and during his stay, he performed many miracles. Like, this stuff never happens here, so I myself was in awe. But the members of the council didn't like him, so they wanted him gone, and as you already know, they killed him on the cross, and now he's gone missing.
Since you're a member of the Sanhedrin, how were you given the authority to bury Jesus? How did that work? I thought you were against his actions.
Oh, I said that? I didn't say I was against the Son of God. I mean, yeah, I did bury him with Nicodemus, my colleague. I went to Pontius Pilate, our governor. I sought for permission to bury him. He granted my wishes, and yeah, we buried him. And that was the last time I saw Jesus.
So what happened next?
I mean, I did what anyone would do to bury a body. Do you need me to show you?
I'm fine. You can continue. So what did you do?
Okay. Nicodemus, he had this mixture of myrrh and aloes. They were roughly about 65 pounds. And yeah, we did what you would do for a Jewish burial. We wrapped his body in white linen cloth after applying the spices. We then, what did we do? We rolled a stone.
Wow.
And yeah, that's the last time we saw him.
So I see that you have a special connection with Jesus, right? Since you went through the efforts of asking our governor to bury the person that the leaders didn't like.
You see, he was a good teacher. Everyone looked up to him, well, except for the Jewish leaders. But yeah, he spoke the truth. And it's just sad that they couldn't see past their prejudgments. But, what can you do?
Yeah. Now for my final question. With regards to the missing corpse, do you think there's a possibility that, Jesus could still be alive?
If I remember, like, when the Jews, they were asking a lot of questions at the temple. And I do remember this one specific phrase that Jesus said, something about destroying the temple and rising again after 3 days. I don't know, but I feel like it has something to do with what will happen in a few days. But that's just my opinion, so I'm not really sure. So yeah, we done here?
Yes, we most certainly are. Thank you for your cooperation.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph of Arimathea, a member of the Sanhedrin, says that Jesus of Nazareth was a person who performed miracles and was a good teacher that only spoke the truth. This is Mark reporting. Your truth, our news. Back to you, Jeremiah.
So recapping today's hottest news. Jesus Christ of Nazareth has gifts of healing and raising people from the dead. Jesus willingly gave himself up to be crucified and claimed to be the Son of God. Jesus' body is now apparently missing from the tomb, and only the remains of the cloth and linen are left. Oh wait, hold on. We're going to interrupt things here for a minute. We've received breaking news from a Mary Magdalene who is claiming that Jesus is alive and resurrected from the dead. Mary, is it true that Jesus has really resurrected from the dead? Hi Mary, thank you for giving us the chance to interview you live.
Yes, my pleasure. It's a good thing I bumped into one of your crew so I can speak the truth.
The truth? May I know this truth you're talking about? Is it true that Jesus is alive?
Yeah, that's right. Jesus is alive.
How could you say Jesus is alive? We all know he's missing from his tomb. Everyone saw him suffer and die.
But I'm telling you, he is alive. He's risen. I'm telling the truth.
Okay, can you tell us more? Do you have proof?
Yeah. So, well, we all know that this is the third day since he's been buried. I was on my way to the tomb, and then I saw that the big stone was removed. I was so shocked, and I thought that his body might have been taken away. So I quickly ran to Peter and John, and then told them that Jesus' body has been taken.
I see.
So they rushed to the tomb. All they saw was the linen and the cloth folded up nicely. We were all so confused. We all thought that if someone removed his body, they would have not stripped it first, nor would have been bothered to remove or roll up the linen and cloth so nicely. Peter and John checked the area really well, but it was becoming clear that the body wasn't taken. Well, for me, that is, and John. But Peter was in denial.
Yes, Mary, we hear you. But that still is not enough proof that Jesus is alive. Is there anything else you would want to say?
Actually, yeah, there is, and here's the best part. So the rest of Jesus' disciples went back to where they were staying at, and I stayed by the tomb and I was crying. But when I bent down to look into the tomb, I saw two angels in white.
I see.
They were sitting where Jesus' body was. One was at the head and the other was at the foot. They asked me why I was crying, and I told them that because my Lord was taken, and I didn't know where they put him.
Again, Mary, that doesn't mean that Jesus is alive.
No, wait. When I straightened up, I saw a man nearby. At first, I thought it was a gardener, or the person who took Jesus' body. The man asked me why I was crying and who I was looking for. He called me by my name, Mary. My Rabboni, my Lord, and my Master. It was Jesus.
Wow, Mary. Did he say anything else?
Yeah, he did. And he told me that he has a mission, and that was to return to his Father. And he also gave me a mission.
What is that mission, Mary?
My mission was to go to the disciples and tell them of the good news. That Jesus is returning to his Father and our Father, to his God and our God. I better get going so I can spread the good news, and you should too, and to all your viewers. Jesus is alive.
So there you have it, folks. You've heard it here first. Jesus Christ died and he rose back to life. This is your good news for today. This has been Jeremiah. See you again next time for another
News with no bias. Exposed. News with no exception. Exposed. Delivering nothing but the truth. This is GovCC News. Your truth, our news.